Well, the most pivotal moment was my cardiac arrest
Yes, yeah.
because even though it was a difficult, tragic time, it was such a growth opportunity for
Yeah,
myself to deeply understand myself and the things that mattered and the things I wanted to do in life and just go out and do it. Because I think it was hitting rock bottom, it felt. So I
yeah,
think when you hit something like that, you feel like everything that you achieve from then on is a bonus, pretty
yeah,
much. So, and
yeah,
it changes your perspective of the world. You're probably more grateful and
yeah,
understanding what you're able to do and that everything is, you've got unlimited potential of what you could achieve. It's just learning through it.
Hi, I'm Leanne Watson. I'm so happy to have you here on our podcast talk show, You, Me and Muscular Dystrophy. I'll be asking 10 questions of each guest, exploring the humanity and experiences of living with MD. I'm so happy to have you here. Hello, welcome back. I'm coming to you from the unceded lands of the Indigenous Kulin Nations, Wadawurrung people, and today I'm chatting with Joshua Ruff of Henle Gardens in central Victoria's beautiful Maldon, the traditional home of the Indigenous Dja people. You may have seen Josh on Gardening Australia, super famous, showcasing his beautiful and accessibly designed gardens, each with its own character. I am really excited to have Josh here because I was just saying to him at where I derive my pleasure, like a great deal of my pleasure on a daily or minute by minute basis, is being able to look out at my garden and just be amongst, and that's just a residential block. But Josh is quite a designer and a bit of an entrepreneur, as we'll find out as well, but also a young man living with Duchenne muscular dystrophy. So thank you very much, Josh. What does Duchenne muscular dystrophy mean? What has it meant for you? Like, when were you diagnosed?
Yeah, oh, thank you for having me on, Leanne. Yeah, I was diagnosed at the age of 5 with my disability, muscular dystrophy, Duchenne. My mum was just noticing I wasn't keeping up with all the other kids, like they were getting up and moving about. And my brother, 1 year younger than me, was like starting to go ahead a bit further than what I was doing. And mum was just wondering, didn't know what was going on. She never heard of muscular dystrophy before, so it was very new to her. And when she got me diagnosed, it was quite a shock to her and it was quite daunting and didn't know what the future would be and was like traumatic for her to go through that. And she started to research into it and started to like think like how would the rest of life go. So yeah, that's what happened when pretty much
Yeah.
diagnosed.
And because
Yeah.
you're one of 6 children too, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm one of 6 children.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a lot.
that's a yeah, it's a lot for your mum, yeah, to cop all at once. But and in some ways, has that ended up being a bit of a blessing, having so many siblings around to support you and your mum?
Yeah, it's been really good for having so many siblings. Like, yeah, big help from my mum at the moment when with my getting cared for. I have all my siblings have cared for me in some aspect and they're like, yeah, it's really good just having big family around. Like we're very close, the whole family. So I see all my siblings pretty much weekly or fortnightly. And I have all my nephews and nieces that come around. And it's like, yeah, such a blessing to have my whole family in my life. And yeah, I'm very grateful for that.
Yes, you realise just how important it is to have a close and lovely family, when we need it the most. Yeah, you can take it for granted. And Malden's quite a small town too, so I imagine you probably know almost everybody in Malden.
I know quite a lot in Malden and when I go down and because I've been doing this lavender farm and gardens. People have visited my gardens, so they sometimes come up to me, start talking to me, and yeah, just having a close, small knit town that yeah, it's really good when I go down there. Yeah, greeting.
Yes, yeah, that's great. At what age were you in your wheelchair finally, Joshua? Did you
Oh,
say that?
when I was 12 years old, that's when I went to the wheelchair. It took a bit of time, like, to get to that stage. Yeah, I was just falling over way too much that I started
Yeah.
yeah, had the use of wheelchair and getting a taxi to school. That changed dynamics because before I was get a school bus to school and yeah, so that changed.
No
Yeah,
accessible school buses?
no wheelchair accessible buses, and it was, yeah, a big change for me going from that to a wheelchair and not being able to do a lot of things the other kids were doing, so
Yes.
it did feel a bit isolating and going through that experience and learning to adapt to that new way of life. It was completely different. So,
Yes,
yeah, that
because that's part of the social element, isn't it? The before and after school, the sort of riding on the bus all together and that sort of thing. And is your school, did it make changes for you, or was it already pretty accessible? Or
they made lots of changes when I went to school, like, they never had anyone in my primary school who had been in a wheelchair, so they had to change a lot of things. They also had doctors from Sydney and that were looking after me up to then, came to the school and had to talk and let people know, like, what it's like for me being in a wheelchair, going around, trying to, I don't know, build connection with the other kids so I wouldn't be left behind too much.
that's
So,
fantastic.
yeah. So
Yeah,
the
that's
school put a lot of effort. That was
yes,
really good.
yeah, yeah. Everyone's just wrapped their arms around you and, helped you be the guy you were always meant to be. So, I know I've already asked you a few questions now, but officially, question number 2, how did you imagine your grown-up life would be? Or what did you think it might look like when you were young? Has this vision changed as MD has impacted you further, or is that a bit of a difficult one because you were so young?
I think when I was young, I didn't really see, because of my diagnosis, it was talked about a lot with the doctors, and my understanding was that my diagnosis at that time, that I would only get to my late teens or early 20s, and that was quite daunting for me, and I don't and I couldn't keep up with the kids. Kids were going off doing other things that normal kids would do, and, yeah, I wasn't just keeping up to them, and, yeah, it was a dark time, like, learning about what my future would be. I didn't really think I could achieve anything, or I don't know, it was not a great time for me. It was quite hard.
Yes, I can
But
imagine.
as time went on, like, I still did a lot of things that I like doing, like gardening. Gardening was such a blessing for me. It really grounded me and felt connected to everything around me, and a good connection to my mum and my family and grandma. So that was a big good thing for me. So yeah, I didn't really see me going anywhere in life. Enjoy as much as I can in a
Each
way.
day.
Yeah, take each day.
Mm,
No forward planning.
yeah,
So what I was like when I was younger. But when I had a cardiac arrest about 5 or 6 years ago, and that really changed my perspective on everything. That I started to plan and dream of a future and stuff like that. So that's completely turned my life around,
that's
going through
really
that experience. Like before that cardiac arrest, I was very quiet and kept to myself. I barely shared much with my family. it was very shallow level. And I think after that cardiac arrest, it really showed me what was important in life, like building connection, family, and everything else didn't really matter at all. So yeah, that changed a massive thing in my life.
Did it sort of make you just want to live the very, very best of each day rather than just just flow through each day? That
Yeah,
kind of idea, is that sort of what you
yeah,
sort of
that's what it was like. It was just flowing day to day.
Mhm.
I still achieve things during that, like with
Mm.
our um, we were able to build a house, and that was such a great thing for me. Like, we went owner builder. My mum got the builder certificate to do some of that, and
Great.
we just did one step at a time, and that was such a joy, learning that process, seeing that we built something on
That's
such a s
really exciting.
yeah,
And that wouldn't be fully accessible too then, and that's the
yeah,
house you're in now that
yeah,
I'm talking to you in, yeah.
yeah. I finished the house in 2019, and then early 2020, that's where I had the cardiac arrest. So I finally got my goal, and when that came up, it was so dramatic, but
Oh,
I was yeah, I achieved that goal, and I think from that experience after the cardiac arrest, I think that whole process showed me that I could set a plan and then go about to achieve something and make it happen, and having good family support allowed
yeah,
that to yeah.
that's fantastic. And Josh, how old are you now?
I'm 32,
32.
at the yeah,
Yes, yeah, and Duchenne dystrophy is, um, probably not even arguably, I think it's probably, the kind of more severe dystrophy, but like all dystrophies, it has a trajectory that's quite, opaque, isn't it? Or, ambiguous. You don't know really from the get go, like how it's going to progress. So I guess you'd probably start thinking when is the next step going to happen and what will it be?
yeah.
Yeah. Was there anything you wished you knew when you were diagnosed?
What I wished I knew, like, that I could live past what they expected me to live at that age. I think
Yeah.
it was hard getting told that I'd live to 20 or
Yeah.
and then if I knew then, I think I would have lived my life a lot different, take more risks, and put myself out there, knowing that life was gonna go a lot longer, that I could try new things. I don't know, it was like I didn't wanna take risks or get uncomfortable when I was young because of that, and not planning anything, that was hard.
That's a really very interesting and, salient point. Yeah, that makes sense too. And you've certainly made up for it anyway with your house design, gardens designs, and the farm anyway, haven't you? So,
Yeah,
can you tell us a little bit more, or maybe it'll come up with the next questions? No, maybe now can I ask you a bit more about how what gardens you've got, and the lavender farm, your lavender business?
yeah, so built the house, finished it in 2020, and then because of my knowledge of gardening and past experience all my life, since the age of 12, I've been, like, making my own gardens and going deep into the plant world, so that's been really good. So we finished the house in 2020, then I started on all the gardens around. The Japanese garden, which is the bathroom garden that I look at. My bedroom's on one side of the Japanese garden as well, so I get to look at that every day, and
That
it's
looks
such a
so
joy.
beautiful.
Yeah, and it's so tranquil to look at. 'Cause I got a fountain in the corner, tower, that's quite nice to look at. Has, like, ferns and moss growing on it. Got a magnolia, a ginkgo, and Japanese maple, and they flower and change with the seasons, which is such yeah, it's such a joy to look at and just watch it change as the months go on. And then on the other side of my bedroom window, I've designed it a cottage garden to look out on, and I just pack it full of flowers of all kinds. It's just amazing to look at. I know it's
You'd
very
get to
uplifting.
very much so. I've got just a little snippet. This is going to be a bit of an experiment for people that are going to be watching on YouTube of the ABC Your Gardening Australia episode while we're talking. I'm going to put it up now. And while we're talking, as I say, and just see whether that works. Excuse the pause, everyone that's listening through audio. But there, yeah, so I've got it on silent anyway, but that's the aerial view of some of your paths. So going back to the
Yeah,
cottage
that's
garden, yeah, and well, you can take me through it because you can see
I
that.
yeah, I designed the cottage garden to be very wild and not too much effort put in, but just pack it full of different flowers and uh, got like some lavender in there, got some salvias and a butterfly bush,
Yeah.
and just yeah, I got a hedge of bay leaves trees that are quite lovely to look at. And then in one corner, I have um, the fern garden, which is lovely. I brought down from Coffs Harbour. That's where I grew up. Brought
Mm-hmm.
down this big stack and planted there. It almost died when we first brought it down
And
because
what was
down
it?
in
Sorry,
Victoria,
a staghorn, did you
down in
say?
yeah, staghorn.
Okay,
It's a
yeah,
nice fern plant, but
yeah.
yeah, when I brought it down, it couldn't survive the cold, so it almost died. But then it came back, and we put it in that corner, and it's just yeah, looking amazing at the moment.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Mm.
That's so good. And so what other gardens do you have on top of that?
Yeah, we've got several gardens. Veggie garden, that's I do spend a lot of time like creating, and it's gone through a couple of transitions as I've got new knowledge or trying new ideas. When we first set up the veggie garden, it was very structured and having raised beds and stuff, and now I've changed it to more market style garden. So it's a lot more thinking holistically and planting a more companion planting. So the roots and all that in the soil is a lot healthier and holds more moisture. The bacteria in the soil is just buzzing with life.
It's so
Yeah,
lovely.
yeah. So I have that garden, which is nice. I have a memorial garden that's next to my greenhouse, which is to remember, like, we set up to remember my auntie that helped a lot with the gardens, like building it, and she always was doing the watering and weeding and stuff like that. So it was good to remember her with that garden. And also my nana as well has been a huge influence on my life.
Yeah.
With yeah, that's Henle Gardens is named after her maiden name, and she was such a big on my passion for gardening.
Beautiful. And is it open to the public?
It has been open to the public. We opened up in November for 2 weeks for the Festival of Gardens, which is our local open garden scheme that we have on, and it was really successful. The last one we had. We had over 600 people turn up and see those gardens over those 2 weeks, and it was
Fantastic.
good to get a lot of feedback from everyone coming, which
Yes.
was nice.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's Henley, Henle, to let people
Yeah,
know, Henley Gardens in Nuggety Ranges. Is that, or is it
yeah, no,
actually Malvern?
it's on the outskirts of Malden.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's beautiful. So, what is your most pivotal moment, whether it's DMD or not DMD related? What would you say has been?
Well, the most pivotal moment was my cardiac arrest.
Yes, yeah.
'Cause even though it was a difficult, tragic time, it was such a growth opportunity for
Yeah,
myself to deeply understand myself and the things that mattered and the things I wanted to do in life and just go out and do it. Because I think it was hitting rock bottom, it felt. So I think when you hit something like that, you feel like everything that you achieve from then on is a bonus, pretty
yeah,
much. So, and
yeah,
it changes your perspective of the world. You're probably more grateful and
yeah,
understanding what you're able to do and that everything is, you've got unlimited potential of what you could achieve. It's just learning through it and building a good connection of people around you that when you have a vision and you're upbeat and positive about it, you can see real change.
yeah,
People like get behind that because you feel like you're doing something amazing and yeah,
yeah.
it's
It's
mm,
infectious, isn't it?
yeah.
Your positivity and and vision and that sort of thing is infectious then. And it's probably also a perfect example of what I think I've noticed too, or what I definitely have, is that people actually really truly do want to help. That you're not being a pain in the neck to them to ask if they could come and help dig out
Yeah.
this or do this. People genuinely want to help as well, which is a lovely life affirming kind of way to be, humanity confirming. That's a great message for everyone. Joshua, thanks for that. That's really wonderful. So I think we might know this already, but question 5 is, where do you find your hope and joy?
I hope and joys in my gardens and my family. They're the two biggest things that
Yeah.
bring me so much joy.
Yeah. Which also probably speaks to who couldn't or wouldn't you want to live without and why.
Yeah,
But
oh, that would be my mum would be a huge one. Like, she's gone through so much to make my life so good and the rest of the family, like all our
yeah,
siblings. Yeah,
yeah,
I build such a strong bond with my mum, like, and we both love gardening, so that's a bonus that builds on that relationship.
really, really wonderful. I love that. I love that whole connection, in many ways. Man, is mum holding the phone now? Your mum?
I got it on a
Got a stand?
stand.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Yeah, so have I too. You just get someone to set all that up for you
Yeah,
first. Um,
yeah, I had my sister there helping set it up before.
Great. Oh, perfect. Yeah. And what device or gadget makes your life easier? Speaking about devices,
Um,
gadgets.
Probably a couple of things. My wheelchair, it's an outdoor four-wheel drive type wheelchair where I've
Yeah.
taken it to so many areas and places in the world. I've taken it to the snow, on the beach. I got hills and a lot of forested area around where we live, and so I go off by myself, off into the bush, and there's like all these tracks everywhere, which I find that such a joy and a calm for me
Beautiful.
in that time to myself. So the
Yeah.
wheelchair was able to do that. Like I wouldn't, I don't, I think it would be so hard not having an electric wheelchair or something like that where you were very stuck. So this gives me so much freedom, which
Yeah.
I'm
You've got the all
grateful for.
terrain. Yes, you've got the all
Yeah,
terrain for it as well. And what resource has helped you navigate your life? I know I met you through contacts through MDA, which is one resource, Muscular Dystrophy Australia.
I think the greatest resource is the community and realizing that my life isn't a burden. And when I put myself out there, the community gets around and supports you, which was such a surprise, like to get that realization. So once that happened, I just put myself out there more and more, living that uncomfortableness and yeah, the community gets around me. They come up and talk to me if I'm more open and they can notice that and come up. So that's been a huge resource, I feel, that knowing that. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. It all comes down to people in the end. Yeah. That's another great message too. And before you mentioned with your wheelchair that you've been to the beach with it too. So you've travelled a fair bit too, have you? Or or have you been able to travel like aeroplanes or car or
Being able to travel quite a lot of it's, like, thankful to my family, like, able to, like, transfer me and stuff, like, if I had carers or stuff that they wouldn't be able to do this, where when I do travel, like, if I wanna go on a plane, like, I think people could manage it, but there's a lot of risks and challenges with that. I've been overseas to Italy and to Singapore. I've also been over to England when I was only, I think, 13, which that was a great experience. It was the Starlight Foundation,
yeah,
I think,
great.
and yeah,
Were the transfers in the planes easy enough with have you had any issues with
only 2 months ago, I went to Bali and 3 brothers and a sister took me over. That was the second time I've been, and having my brother able to lift me and transfer me helps
yeah,
quite a
yeah.
lot.
Mm,
Transfer me to the plane seat. I think the staff there could do it, but it just makes it a lot longer and time
yeah.
consuming. So when he transferred me, it's a lot quicker, and
That's
yeah,
really
staying accommodation has
yeah,
been good. Yeah.
and it's been comfortable for you. That's good. That's wonderful. Still be able to get out and do those sort of things. So what would be your advice, Joshua, to any other people that are newly diagnosed?
I think that life is so much better than what you may be thinking, like getting diagnosed it. You might be thinking life's going to be grim and difficult and a challenge and not something to look forward to, but there's so many good things in the future. And as time has gone on, even though my condition has affected me and made my life a lot harder, I'm finding more joy and noticing myself in a way that I can do anything. And as the time goes on, I'm
Yeah,
just more happier. And it's something to look forward to.
yeah, that's great. Great advice. Thanks. That's really beautiful. And I've got your under the show notes. I'll put your Instagram accounts. We can find you on Instagram, can't we? Under Henle Gardens.
And my other profile, which I put a lot of my content on, is at Joshua Ruff 19. That's
Yeah,
my Instagram. I'm trying to push that social media as a way of, as I've become more confident with myself, I'm just trying to create the social media to open up of who I am, more of my challenges, and a lot of my garden inspiration, and just sharing my life so others can see that, yeah, as you get older, life gets really, really good.
yeah. That's fantastic, and I don't think you can get much more grounded than being literally like working, immersing yourself in the ground and with all the plants and the insects and the birds around you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Joshua, once again, Joshua Ruff of Henle Gardens. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you more on socials. And really, really thank you for your time today.
Yeah,
And
thank you for having me on, Leanne.
this is Leanne. Thanks for your time in listening to this podcast, You, Me, and Muscular Dystrophy. To continue to help our community, it would be so great if you could like, share, subscribe, and/or comment on the show. Your feedback is always appreciated, and if you would like to be a guest, please contact me through Instagram, Leanne's_wheel_life, or email leanne@leanneswheellife.com. Take care until we come together on the next episode of You, Me, and Muscular Dystrophy.